Beloved starseed of Gaia, someone may have fallen in love with you despite everything, and the higher field is preparing to reveal what their silence, fear, pride, timing, or confusion could not fully express. I am Mayan, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and I speak through the crystalline current of Alcyone to help you understand why a love can remain alive beneath distance, why hidden emotion may rise to the surface now, and why the revelation of someone's love must still be received with discernment rather than fantasy. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to receive the Pleiadian light codes behind this emotional unveiling, what it means if they never stopped loving you, and how to know whether this revelation is meant for closure, healing, or a new path. But here's the first revelation. Someone can keep loving you and still not be ready to meet you in the way your soul deserves. You are remembering because it is time. There is a reason this message carries both sweetness and caution. They never stopped loving you. Those words can open a door inside the heart that was closed by disappointment, silence, distance, or unfinished timing. A part of you may want to believe instantly. A part of you may feel relief. Another part may become guarded because it remembers the pain. The Pleiadian field asks you to hold all of these responses with maturity. Love hidden beneath silence is powerful, but hidden love is not automatically healthy love. A feeling can be real and still need purification before it becomes safe to enter your life again. Someone may have loved you despite everything, despite distance, despite mistakes, despite pride, despite family pressure, despite fear, despite old wounds, despite the timing not being clean, despite the fact that they could not say what their energy already revealed. But the question is not only whether love existed. The deeper question is what that love did with itself. Did it become honesty? Did it become growth? Did it become responsibility? Did it become prayer, healing, action, and truth? Or did it remain buried under avoidance while your heart carried the weight of uncertainty? The higher field may reveal their love through a message, a confession, a dream, a sudden return, a conversation with someone else, a sign, a memory, or a shift in the energy between you. But the revelation is not given only to satisfy curiosity. The source reveals hidden love, and the soul is ready to see the truth without losing itself inside the truth. There were times when a revelation like this might have pulled you back into an old cycle. Now the field asks you to receive it from a higher place. Not the place that begs, not the place that chases, not the place that accepts crumbs because the emotion is strong, the place that discerns. They may have never stopped loving you, but perhaps they stopped showing up. They may have never stopped thinking about you, but perhaps they stopped communicating. They may have carried feelings, but perhaps they did not know how to honor the field those feelings created. This distinction matters. Many starseeds become trapped by hidden love because hidden love feels sacred, mysterious, and unfinished. But love that remains hidden too long can become a room where one soul waits while the other avoids growth. The Pleiadian field does not ask you to hate hidden love. It asks you to ask whether it has matured. What does it mean to love someone despite everything? It may mean that even after conflict, their heart returned to your energy. It may mean that attempts to forget you did not fully succeed. It may mean that other connections did not erase the imprint of your presence. It may mean that your kindness, depth, honesty, or frequency affected them more than they admitted. It may mean that your soul left a mark that their ego could not control. But this does not automatically mean that the relationship must resume. Sometimes love remains to teach humility. Sometimes it remains to bring closure. Sometimes it remains as evidence that what was shared mattered, even if the form could not continue. The old version of you may want to hear this and immediately ask, so will they come back? Will they confess? Will we finally be together? Beloved, breathe. The Pleiadian field will not feed the hunger that makes you abandon yourself. The more important question is, if they reveal love, will I remain centered enough to listen to the truth without surrendering my dignity? Can I receive a confession without forgetting the pattern? Can I hear that I mattered without rushing to reopen access? Can I honor love and still ask whether the field is clean now? This is spiritual maturity in human connection. The higher field is about to reveal what was hidden, because hidden emotion has reached a threshold. Feelings cannot stay buried forever when the soul is being called toward truth. Sometimes a person carries love privately until life forces them to face it. They may see you changing. They may feel your energy leaving the old field. They may realize that silence did not erase you. They may encounter reminders that open the heart. They may dream of you, hear your name, or feel the ache of what was never spoken. When the field becomes too full of unspoken truth, revelation begins. But revelation can take many forms. It may be a direct message. It may be an apology. It may be someone admitting that they never forgot you. It may be their energy becoming obvious after a long silence. It may be you receiving a dream that finally explains the bond. It may be your own heart realizing that their love was real, but not enough. Do not decide ahead of time how the revelation must look. The field reveals in the form that serves the soul's next step, not always the ego's preferred scene. The Pleiadian High Council asks you to prepare for emotional complexity. If someone who never stopped loving you appears, you may feel validation and anger at the same time, relief and grief, warmth and caution, hope and exhaustion. This is normal. Do not force yourself to respond instantly. The nervous system needs time when old emotional doors reopen. A revelation can be sacred and still require space. Let yourself breathe before answering. Let the body speak before the fantasy speaks. Let truth be received in layers. There is a hidden wound in being loved silently. It can make you question your own perception. You may have sensed their feelings, but their actions did not match. You may have felt their energy, but their mouth stayed closed. You may have dreamed of them, but their life moved elsewhere. This creates confusion. It trains the heart to live between signal and silence. The revelation may come now, not only to show that love existed, but to heal the confusion that made you doubt your own sensitivity. Your perception was not necessarily wrong, but perception alone is not a relationship. This is one of the deepest teachings. A soul connection can be real without being ready. A love can be mutual without being mature. A bond can be powerful without being permitted to govern your future. The source may reveal that they never stopped loving you, but the revelation does not remove the need for discernment. The question remains, what has changed? Have they healed? Have you healed? Has the pattern shifted? Is the connection now able to hold truth, communication, and peace? Or is the revelation only a final light placed over a chapter that must be honored and released? The hidden revelation before activation begins is this: this love is being revealed because you no longer need to be controlled by not knowing. The uncertainty has served its lesson. It showed you where you waited, where you doubted yourself, where you made silence mean rejection, where you still wanted proof of your worth from someone else's confession. Now the field may bring truth so you can stop living inside the question. But truth is not always a command to return. Sometimes truth is the key that lets you finally leave the question behind. Beloved, if this transmission is already touching the part of you that has felt an unspoken love lingering in your field, your star family has prepared a deeper path for this exact threshold. The Pleiadian Bloodline Method, Unlock Your 7 Inheritances, was created not as information to collect, but as a sacred map for healing, remembrance, and crystalline integration for starseeds, learning to discern hidden love, soul bonds, and emotional revelations without losing their center. It carries the love frequency of Alcyone and the wisdom of the Seven Sisters, for souls ready to receive truth from the source, while choosing peace, maturity, and sacred self-respect. You will find it in the first pinned comment below this video. Available now for those who feel called to receive the next layer of their Pleiadian inheritance. Now the first movement is to release the need to force the revelation. If love is ready to be revealed, it does not need to be chased out of hiding. Do not pressure the field through obsession. Do not scan every message, song, dream, or number from hunger. Return to the body. Say inwardly, if truth is meant to surface, I will be grounded enough to receive it. This prepares your nervous system for revelation, without making revelation your only source of peace. And ask what part of you still needs them to have loved you. This question may feel vulnerable. Did you need their love to prove you were not imagining the connection? Did you need their love to prove you were worthy? Did you need their love to make the pain meaningful? Did you need their love so the waiting would not feel wasted? Be honest. The answer will show where healing is still needed. If your worth depends on their confession, the revelation may become another chain. If your worth is already returning to you, the revelation can become clarity. The next movement is to separate validation from permission. It may validate you to learn that they never stopped loving you. It may validate your intuition. It may validate the depth of what was felt. But validation is not the same as permission to reopen the door. The field may say, yes, you felt something real, and still the old form is complete. Or it may say, yes, love remained, and now both souls must choose differently if anything is to be rebuilt. Do not let validation bypass discernment. Truth must still be embodied. From there, observe whether their love has become action. Love hidden in the heart is not the same as love lived through responsibility. If they return, listen for accountability. Do they name what happened without blaming you for everything? Do they honor the time that passed? Do they respect your boundaries? Do they show maturity beyond emotion? Do they understand that confession alone does not repair the field? A beautiful message can open a door, but only consistent action can make the door safe to walk through. You may also need to grieve the time when love was present but unavailable. This grief is real. It is painful to realize someone cared and still could not show up. It is painful to know the connection mattered and still did not become what your heart hoped. Let yourself mourn the gap between feeling and action. Some of the deepest wounds in love come from almost honest, almost ready, almost together, almost chosen. The Pleiadian field holds this grief with tenderness. Almost can still teach, but it cannot become your permanent home. The field may reveal their love through someone else. A friend, family member, mutual connection, or unexpected witness may say something that changes what you thought was true. Receive it carefully. Third-party revelations can be useful, but they can also stir emotion without providing grounded clarity. Do not build an entire future on hearsay. Let it be information, not a command. The real test remains whether the person can meet truth directly, if direct meeting is aligned and safe. If the revelation comes through a dream, write it down. Dreams of someone confessing love, reaching for you, crying, returning, or standing at a distance may represent their energy, your own emotional processing, or the soul field seeking closure. Do not assume every dream is literal. Ask what the dream changes in your body. Does it bring peace? Does it bring clarity? Does it reopen obsession? Does it show a pattern? Pleiadian dream work is not about chasing symbols. It is about listening to the soul's deeper movement. If the revelation comes through silence breaking, pause before responding. The old wound may want to answer immediately so the person does not disappear again. The healed self can breathe first. Read the message. Feel the body. Wait if needed. You are allowed to take time. You are allowed to respond from dignity. You are allowed to ask for clarity. You are allowed not to reopen emotional access just because someone finally spoke. Their timing does not need to become your emergency. The Pleiadian field asks you to notice whether you are more attached to the revelation than to the reality. The revelation may feel powerful because it confirms the hidden bond. But after the revelation, reality returns. Who are they now? Who are you now? What pattern exists now? What is possible now? What is healthy now? A soul can become addicted to the moment of confession and ignore the life that must follow it. Do not let the emotional high replace grounded truth. There is also a sacred possibility. The revelation may not be about reunion, but about releasing self-doubt. You may finally understand that you are not crazy, not too sensitive, not imagining everything. The love existed, the bond was felt, the energy was real, and still you may choose to move forward. This kind of revelation can be profoundly freeing. It restores your trust in your perception without binding your future to the person. You receive the truth and reclaim your path. If reunion is possible, it must be rebuilt through a new frequency. Not the old waiting, not the old silence, not the old fear, not the old imbalance where one soul felt and the other carried the uncertainty. A new path would require communication, accountability, emotional maturity, boundaries, patience, and the willingness to meet what was avoided before. Without these, the confession becomes a spark that lights the old cycle again. With these, the revelation may become a doorway into healing, whether together or apart. You may also discover that while they never stopped loving you, you have changed. This is important. The version of you who once waited may not be the version receiving the revelation now. You may no longer want the same thing in the same way. You may feel tenderness, but not attachment. You may feel compassion, but not desire. You may feel gratitude, but not readiness to return. Do not shame yourself if the revelation comes after your heart has evolved. Love can be acknowledged without being re-entered. There is another layer to this message. Sometimes love remains because a soul recognizes what it lost only after your energy withdraws. While you were available, they may have taken your presence for granted. While you were explaining, they may have avoided listening. While you were waiting, they may have assumed the door would always remain open. But when your field begins returning to itself, the energetic difference becomes undeniable. They may feel the absence of your light more strongly than they ever felt your presence. This does not make their love false. It means their awareness may have been delayed by immaturity, fear, or pride. Delayed awareness can be painful for the one who waited. You may think, why now? Why after I cried? Why after I doubted myself? Why after I finally began to heal? This question is valid. The Pleiadian field does not ask you to pretend the delay did not hurt. It asks you to recognize that someone's late realization does not automatically override the healing you have done. If they arrive after you have rebuilt peace, they are not entitled to enter simply because they finally understand. Your peace is sacred. Any return must honor it. You may also need to examine whether you are hoping they never stopped loving you because you still have a wound around being forgotten. The fear of being forgotten is deep in many starseeds. It can make hidden love feel like rescue. If they loved me all along, the wound says, then I was not abandoned. But beloved, even if someone did love you, your healing cannot depend entirely on their hidden feeling. You were worthy, even when they were silent. You were valuable, even when they did not confess. You were seen by the source, even when a human heart could not speak. This revelation can also teach you the difference between soul recognition and human readiness. A soul may recognize you across time, but the human personality must still become capable of honesty. A soul may love you, but the human nervous system may run from intimacy. A soul may feel the bond, but the human life may still be entangled in fear, pride, confusion, or obligations. This is why you must never use soul recognition alone as permission to ignore earthly reality. Sacred love must eventually become human truth, or it remains an unfinished echo. If they reveal that they never stopped loving you, ask what they have learned during the silence. Not as interrogation, but as discernment. Have they learned to communicate? Have they learned to take responsibility? Have they learned to stop hiding behind timing? Have they learned to choose with clarity? Have they learned to honor your feelings without making you carry theirs? Hidden love that has not matured may only repeat the old cycle with new words. Hidden love that has matured will bring humility, patience, and a willingness to rebuild trust slowly. You may also be asked to forgive yourself for still caring. Some of you judge yourselves for having feelings after everything. You say, "I should be over this. I should not still feel them. I should be stronger." But the heart does not heal through shame. Feelings can remain while attachment loosens. Love can soften into blessing. Memory can exist without control. You are not weak because something mattered. You are healing when you can let it matter without letting it rule you. The higher field may reveal their love in order to close an energetic loop. An unspoken bond can keep two fields loosely connected. When truth is finally named, the loop can dissolve. This is why some revelations arrive right before a final release. The person may confess, the dream may come, the sign may appear, and instead of pulling you back, it frees you. You realize that the connection was real, but you no longer need to remain suspended in it. The truth becomes the final gift, not the beginning of the old story again. There is also a possibility that the revelation is meant to teach you how to receive love without immediately giving away your power. If someone says they still love you, can you receive the words without making them your authority? Can you say, "Thank you for telling me," and still take time? Can you allow your heart to feel without handing over your boundaries? Can you honor the confession without making an instant decision? This is how the new self receives. Slowly, clearly, with the body present. The ultimate revelation is this: if they never stopped loving you, the truth is coming not to trap you in the past, but to free you from uncertainty. The higher field reveals hidden love so that the heart can stop living in guesses. It may bring closure. It may bring healing. It may bring a conversation. It may bring a new beginning if both souls are truly different. But whatever form it takes, the revelation is not meant to make you abandon your center. It is meant to return truth to the place where confusion once lived. Tonight, before sleep, place one hand over your heart and say softly, "I release the need to chase hidden love. I receive the truth that is ready to be revealed in the timing of the source. I receive the Pleiadian light codes that help me discern love from readiness, confession from repair, and validation from permission. I trust my body to know what brings peace, and I trust my soul to remain centered when truth arrives." Speak slowly. Let the words prepare you to receive without collapsing into the old wound. In the days ahead, watch what surfaces. Watch messages, dreams, names, songs, memories, and conversations, but do not obsess. Watch whether the energy brings peace or agitation. Watch whether the person, if they appear, brings accountability or only emotion. Watch whether your own heart feels open, closed, complete, or cautious. These details are guidance. The revelation may be near, but your discernment must remain closer. So when you hear, "They never stopped loving you," receive the purified meaning. Let it mean that love can be hidden and still real. Let it mean that your intuition may have sensed something true. Let it mean that silence does not always erase feeling. Let it also mean that love must mature before it deserves access. Let it mean that the source can reveal truth without demanding that you return to the old form. Let it mean that you are allowed to receive the truth and still choose peace. And now feel what has shifted. The mystery is no longer here to control you. The hidden love is no longer something you need to chase. The higher field is preparing revelation, but you are preparing stability. Your star family is near, helping you hear what was unspoken without losing yourself in it. If they come forward, breathe. If the truth arrives through dreams, listen. If the revelation brings closure, receive it. If it opens a new path, require maturity. They may have never stopped loving you, but you must never again stop loving yourself. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of the unity grid forming here. Drop one heart intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with love or encouragement. This isn't content, it's collective Pleiadian reunion. Energy multiplies when hearts connect.